Alright folks, welcome to the first video of Neckbeard Rage. Today we're going to be talking about J. Caspian King's recent column update on Grantland entitled Dumb Move Dolan regarding Jeremy Lin going to the Houston Houston Rockets in favor of the New York Knicks, since the Knicks did not want to match the 3-year $25 million contract the Rockets offered him. The first question he has in his column is, why does anyone care what James L. Dolan does with his money? It was never about what James Dolan was doing with the money. It's about how ridiculous the contract is to begin with. First year, $5 million. Okay, Lin started in 25 games. He did good, but as soon as people started to get some tape on him, started to figure out exactly what he was all about, you started to see him, he 1 for 11, I think, in a nationally televised game, and one with 8 turnovers. As soon as you get tape on somebody, you start to figure out what they're all about. And there wasn't that much tape on Lin to start with, and there wasn't, enough time for teams to, start developing a really good, okay, this is how he plays here, this is how he does in the post, this is how he does on the perimeter. Nobody really had a good understanding of that to begin with. But then they did. The tape started to come out. He played in a lot of games. He played enough games for them to start developing those patterns and figure out how to defend him and figure out exactly what they needed to do in order to mitigate Jeremy Lin's effects. So it was not about how James Dolan was spending his money. Is Jeremy Lin even worth 3 years, $25 million? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I would have said 3 years, $14 million max for what I think Jeremy Lin is worth. Again, I'm not a professional sports analyst. I'm just a neckbeard raging on the internet. I digress. The biggest point about it, it was not about the financial doom. It was not about the amount the Knicks would have to pay for the luxury tax in the third year, which was exactly why Houston set it up like that. Because there's no reason to go from $5 million to $5.2 million to $14.8 million. For the third year. They knew that the Knicks would not want to match that offer given the luxury tax implications. Okay. Okay, question 3. Wait, does nothing else really make sense? It's not... Okay, right here he mentions, but then again, let's not forget what Jeremy Lin did accomplish in his 25 games as a starter. Honestly, who gives a shit about what you did in 25 games? Okay? Normally, the regular season is 82 games, okay? That's just over a quarter, alright, of what the regular season is, and as soon as people got tape on those 25 games, as soon as people went through those days, again, the whole column can really be broken down as once people got tape on Lin, you could start to make the case that, okay, you could probably make the case 14 points, 9 boards, average, okay, that's about what he will probably give Houston, okay, especially since they've been gutting their roster, okay, they've been focusing on draft picks, they're really not that solid of a team, they're not really that well built, put together. They're trying to get Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard, that saga's been going on for months now, and that's probably going to continue to the end of this year, okay, because he has just been flat out refusing anything but going to the Nets. I know they just talked about the Lakers. They've been talking about the Lakers. They've been getting into contract, trade negotiations with the Magic. I don't think it's going to happen because, again, Dwight Howard is being very stubborn on this. He does not want to play for anybody that does not involve the words Brooklyn and Nets combined in the same sentence right next to each other. So we're going to have to stand by on that one. But for someone to come in, okay, finishing up, one off topic, finishing up, for someone to come in and say that, why should we care about how James Dolan is spending his money? Oh, he blundered again. He's not doing what it takes. He's not making smart decisions again. Excuse me. He's got Amari Stoudemire. He's got Carmelo Anthony. He's got Raymond Felton on that team again. Thanks to the sign and trade. Are you really telling me that he is not making the moves to turn this team into a contender? Carmelo Anthony alone. Okay, you add in Stoudemire. You add in you had in Felton, all those people that they're putting into this team. How are you telling me that you're not building a contender with that team? How are you telling me that there's not going to be someone else to pop up in a trade? Something else too that King mentioned in this article that I just wanted to touch on real quick. Trying to coerce LeBron in 2014 was an actual sentence that appeared in this column, which I think is the most absolutely ridiculous thing ever. LeBron James is not going to leave the Heat when he just won a title in 2 years, when he just won a title with his friends Wade and Bosh. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. LeBron is not leaving the Heat. He is pretty much on there unless someone can give him a better deal with better players. And right now, with the way the league is, I don't see that happening. This is Neckbeard Rage, signing off until next time, until I find something else that pisses me off and have to post a video up on the internet. Take it easy, guys.